Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's weekly musings is disasters and consciousness. I'm doing a series of weekly musings, and I'm using posts from my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. Now, I wrote these a while ago. I happen to be up to, I think, 2015 in my weekly blog posts, and you can tell the world has completely changed since then. However, I'm finding the basic information is still very evergreen and eerily apropos to what's going on in the world today. At the end, I'll summarize the topic based on what's going on in the world today. Disasters in consciousness. We just had a massive earthquake in Nepal, followed by a large one in New Guinea, a fair-sized one in India, and volcanoes erupting in Chile and Philippines and underwater off the coast of Oregon. There's a whole lot of shaking going on. With any growth cycle, there are periods of tension and release. The planet is always moving around. Tectonic plates are shifting, creating more land masses, destroying along fault lines. Society is going through similar cycles, belief systems constricting, people rebelling, conflicting ways of thinking coming to the surface, and eruptions of protests and wars until we settle into the new normal. We're strongly affected by natural and man-made disasters. It brings out the best and sometimes the worst in us. Heroes are made and hearts are broken. Miracles and tragedies side by side. Faith is tested, faith is lost, and faith is found. If there's any evidence that there's a power greater than our personalities, take a look at super tsunamis and 7+ magnitude earthquakes. We may contribute to planetary disturbances and global warming, but the earth could shrug its shoulders at any moment and be rid of us. Some of us shake our fists at God and say, how can God do this to us? Or at the government, it isn't doing enough to help or prevent this. I've written in the past how we collectively create being in these situations. I've noticed when everyone seems to be stuck or struggling, something major occurs. And at other times, everyone seems to be dealing with their own inner earthquakes. External disasters pass us by. It now doesn't seem to be useful or helpful to look at things that way. It's too easy to blame or fault, misunderstanding responsibility with the ability to respond. What happens when you perceive this as consciousness? When you close your eyes, turn within, step back, or drop down, what do you notice? Consciousness feels immense. Consciousness feels impassive. It feels like the ocean, which gives life and just as easily swallows you up. It's not personal. As consciousness, there is no good or bad. Earthquakes aren't bad. Loss of life isn't bad. There will always be eruptions. People will always die, and at different ages and under different circumstances than they or others would have preferred. Step a little more back, drop a little more deeper. There's more awareness flowing. There's love and care and appreciation. And yet birth and destruction are equally creative. There's an acceptance of all that is. There's a knowingness that all is very, very well. Whatever each of us are struggling with, put into perspective. This too shall pass. Now I have to say this is interesting because there was just like a 7.7 earthquake off the coast of Japan, and there was a whole tsunami warning. And earthquakes have gotten more massive since 2015. And there is a collective earthquake going on in the world today, and people are really feeling it in terms of their own personal experience of what reality is, or their own personal foundation of what reality is. As I'm reading this about consciousness, I'm really not trying to spiritually bypass you, because the part of us that is our physical bodies are here in this reality. We are emotionally attached to our loved ones. And when we see a bomb taking out an entire school of 175 girls, it can really affect us emotionally. So to understand that there's two of us here. There's ourselves as consciousness that has the bigger picture, the drone's eye view of what's going on. And then there's our physical body that is navigating through this world, feels like we're driving in the fog, very emotionally affected by what we see, the life and death experience in the world. What I'm trying to do here is encourage people to recognize themselves as consciousness and learn how to navigate as consciousness, because the moment we do start navigating as consciousness, our physical bodies feel relieved. It's like finally there's somebody driving the bus. It's not just kids in the back seat screaming because there's nobody behind the steering wheel. And we have actually all evolved immensely since I wrote this, and we're able to embody greater consciousness more than ever before. And how you know that you are embodying greater consciousness is that you're having greater experiences of intuition, you're having more precognition, you're having more empathy, and all these things that would have been considered psychic abilities we're naturally experiencing in the world today. And that's what happens when you as consciousness embody your physical form more. So if you've had any experiences like this, please leave me a comment below because I love to read your comments. And if you like these videos, please share them with your family and friends and on your social media. And please like, subscribe, also leave comments, because all of those things tell the algorithm to share this far and wide and get this out to someone who really needs to see this information. And if you'd like a free sample of one of my consciousness techniques, click on the link below to the Skybox technique. It'll give you that drone's eye perspective of the world. And if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, click on the link below to my self-study course. It'll give you tools and techniques to navigate your life as consciousness. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com, and there you can learn about my individual sessions as well as my coaching programs. So go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you next week in another Weekly Musings.